Thank you so much for taking out the time today to meet with me. Really excited to kick off the Chief Future Officer series with you. I'll give you a bit of context again. The reason why we decided to start off this series is to have a platform where we can bring together top finance leaders in the Middle East to discuss and share insights on the future of finance in the region. And that's exactly what we're going to do here today. I just want to have a regular chat with you, get to know you, and get your perspective on different topics in finance. Shall we begin?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Thank you, Habiba. Thank you for having me on this, and let's kick off.
Awesome. So let's start with the first question. You've had a really dynamic career from Big Four audit firm to port development and PPP in real estate development ventures. Before we get into all of that, I would love for you to tell us a bit about your journey.
No, thank you very much, Habiba, for having me on the show. And to start with, my journey is like I belong to a very a middle class, low middle class background. I'm not some big tycoon kind of thing. So we belong to a very humble background, a very humble family. We call it like in Pakistan, we used to have one tribe called Maiman. These people are usually, they are in the businesses, usually, generally, across the world. Now, but my background was a bit different because my father, he worked for almost 36 years or 40 years in Saudi Arabia. So he has his vision that definitely he should do business because business had their own barakah. But he always believed that the way the future is coming, you should also have some good studies. And then you can always go ahead and do if you want to do business, you want to do a job, it's all up to you. But at least you study up to some extent where it will be helpful for you, for your career or for your business also. So we started with a very humble start, completed my studies in Saudi Arabia because I'm born and raised in Saudi Arabia, Jeddah. And then I moved back to Pakistan to start to do some higher education, like some qualifications or bachelor's or whatever. While doing my bachelor's, I come across with ACCA. It looked very attracting. That is back in 2000, like 25 years ago. And nobody knows as such about what the ACCA is. Like if in Pakistan, you know ICMA, you know IBA, the masters and bachelor from IBA and those people. But ACCA 25 years ago, there are people, but not everybody knows about it. So I came to know from one of my brother friend. And then I started my journey with ACC. I think it was the best decision of my life. And when I went for the first paper, I still remember I went to a hotel and I was surprised to see that a lot of people was there. Not compared to what are today, but there are a lot of people was pursuing ACC and it was a bit different thing and it's a bit challenging to have that. So I did my ACCA, alhamdulillah, in 4 years, a lot of up and down. I failed in a lot of papers also. Nothing to hide is normal. You win. You win and you learn. So I think when you fail, you learn more. So this is what I was doing. So alhamdulillah, I got this ACCA in my portfolio and it was a 4-year journey and I completed within the 4 years. And then definitely as a career start, and still as of today is valid that being a chartered accountant from Asia, you should try to go to Big Four. Like Big Four is always preferable because that will change your career a lot. So alhamdulillah, Allah blesses me. And then if my parents' prayer was there, I got an opportunity in KPMG Karachi in 2003, mid of 2003. So I was doing my last paper of ACCA and then I started my career with KPMG. I worked there almost a year and I got qualified also. Then as usual, we used to come to Saudi Arabia every year to update our Akama. Renewal Akama was required every year. So I came here and I was definitely job hunting was there because in Pakistan, you earn in rupees and here you earn in reals.
Yeah.
So conversion was always there. Conversion was always good. Definitely my father also we have to support him. We having a lot of financial difficulties in those times. We were struggling actually, we have a very hard time. But my father was he said, no, I know things are difficult, but get your qualifications and inshallah, we'll work it out. So alhamdulillah, we keep on applying in Saudi Arabia, in Jeddah, and I got an offer from EY, another Big Four. And EY was even as of today, almost the case, but back in 2004, that they were the largest in the Middle East. There was no comparison. They were the top. And everything comes very low compared to EY. They were the largest in Middle East. So alhamdulillah, I got the opportunity there. And then I will say that my actual career started in EY, Jeddah office. I worked there 9 years. Definitely a lot of learning, going through 100 clients in 9 years time. And I have a very good seniors and managers and partners who are really supportive. And that was my baseline of like whatever I'm today. That was my base. I think Big Four was always my base.
That's an incredible journey. And then also tell me a little bit about after EY, how did you get into real estate development, port development?
Yeah, what really happened is that like definitely I was growing with a decent pace in EY. Like I think I was there for 9 years and I got almost 7 promotions. But audit firm has their own dynamics and their own way of things. It was not kind of meant for me. Like I'm not saying is a difficult job. Every job is difficult, but like it's too challenging. And I was not that person. And especially after getting married, that long hours was difficult to manage with the family. And like then I thought that like why not try something in industry? And then I started my hunting to find something. And definitely I was almost at the senior manager level in the firm. And then finding a decent job in the industry is it's not very easy. The people used to say that if you want to move, try to move either as assistant manager or manager, try to move out because then it's very difficult to get something higher than that. But alhamdulillah, like I got this opportunity in King Abdullah Port. Also, I was applying, like I was trying to find something. And now definitely sometimes the people try to offer me less and that doesn't make any sense to me. My career was good in EY. I never had any issue. I was keep only say find something, I will move on. Otherwise, EY is definitely is the best place to work, no doubt about it. But then this opportunity came in and they were looking for somebody with the audit firm background. The CFO of the company were looking for somebody with a CFO background. I think it was a recruiter or somebody who approached me and then we had this discussion and then I joined them. It was a kind of startup company. So I had to build everything from the scratch. There was no accounting system. There were no policy procedures, no reportings. In 2004, I joined them. And the first thing CFO told me that like, this is our system, whatever we have. They have one very basic, not a ERP, I will say accounting system was there. But 2003 audit is pending, please get it done. And it was a complete mess was there because there was no team was there. No? The people was there, but they don't know the accounting. They were not in the finance background. So I started cleaning up the entire company. I find out the entries. I find out supporting documents. It took me almost a month or two to clean up and come up with a TB which can be audited. And audit was to be done by a Big Four because I always believe that, and that company also that now we need to do a Big Four audit because this is a King Abdullah Port and Emar Holding, Huta Holding is there, so we need to have Big Four. Suddenly, coming from a senior manager in a Big Four, with a team of people, the army is there to work for you, and suddenly you are in a place where you have to just roll up your sleeve and start passing entries in the system to fix the system. So 180-degree change was there that I was passing debit, credit, debit, credit, debit, credit. So, but that was an excellent learning for me because it was startup. So I built everything with my own hand and I know each and everything of that company. So that happens. And then I continue with that company for almost 4 years, but definitely then there's a limit and I need to grow further. I was a senior finance manager there and everybody has a dream to reach the top of like CFO or head of finance or something. But I keep on working and then I come across with like a lot of other way of how to hunt the job in the market, what things are required, the technical skills. Your financial skills are required, but at the top level, those skills are not required. So I start working on the soft skills. And then this opportunity also some recruiter approached me. I was very active on LinkedIn. And then we had interview, like a lot of interviews was there because this is a joint venture of Saudi Aramco and Masek, one of the largest company in Saudi Arabia, one of the largest group, and Saudi Aramco on the other side. So a lot of interviews. I think I did 6 or 7 interviews was there. And alhamdulillah, I went through all of them. The group was very kind. They really understand. They see something in me and they give me this big opportunity because it's not a small thing to hire somebody with like not a CFO experience. And then my journey started in 2018. I started with them. So it's almost 7 years now. Working with them.
Amazing. I think that's an incredible journey. And I was actually going through your LinkedIn as well to see, what all you've done, where you've been, and you've handled real estate financing, bank facilities, zakat and tax, treasury, and literally everything in between. My question would be, when you're managing long-term capital in a region like KSA, What's the biggest challenge and how do you work around it?
There are 2, 3 biggest challenges are there, especially with the long-term investments. Because these long-term projects, because like my previous company is a port development, 20 plus year of financing. I was there. This company, we are doing this housing compounds, 20 plus year. So even though you do have a long-term investment, but balancing it with a short-term regulatory shift, the country is evolving. And they're growing. A lot of regulations and lots of requirements are keep on coming on a regular basis for the betterment of the businesses. They want to improve the ease of business as much as possible to attract more investments. So they have to bring a lot of regulations, which was not there or internationally accepted. So the most important thing is balancing your long-term investments with your short-term regulatory shifts, which are coming in on a regular basis. Like we are in real estate. So there are a lot of real estate REIT law came in recently. And it's keep on improving over time. Still, there are some answers we are unknown. Still, some clarifications are keep on coming on a regular basis. So we have to be very agile to make sure that it will not impact our long-term strategy on the goal of this company. Second important thing I would say is that you should have very strong banking relationship. Because that is very important, because banking relationship will definitely help you to manage and be flexible with your capital structure. Because if your bank is not your partner, then it's very difficult to manage your long-term loans and debt with the banks.
Yeah.
And I've seen that even that the way all the industries are evolving, banks are also evolving a lot. They are very supportive and they are very understandable in each and everything. And they know that if you have to work, you need to be flexible with the client instead of like trying to hammer them that no, this is what it is and sorry, we cannot do anything. Competition is always there. I can move to another bank. Not a big deal about it. But again, It's not about jumping here and there. It's about having a long-term relationship. To make it. And the third thing I will say is that you should have a regular scenario planning should always be there. With the evolving economics are keep on changing. You always have your flexible budget running somewhere in between. Flexible forecasts of flexible scenarios should always be there. Yeah, long term is there. I built it and this company is running. But you keep on doing that as well on a regular just to make sure you're still on that target and where you to achieve, we have to reach after 20 years. These I will say the 2-3 things we need to take care of if you're looking at the long term.
I think the last point, what you said, is also very important, right? Like, given the situation, the economic conditions, how they change, it is indeed very important to like keep playing out different scenarios because you never know where you might be stuck. Okay, coming to the next question, with Vision 2030 in the picture, what shifts are you actually seeing on the ground in how businesses operate or make decisions in KSA today? And where do you think finance leaders can really move the needle?
No, that is a very important question. And thank you very much. You asked me that. We know what Vision 2030 is all about. It's about the changing the complete shift of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So that shift will not come that with the old mindset. As we make a company. The purpose is to make a profit. This is my cost. This should be my revenue. My bottom line is profit. I should make this much amount of profit. Those things are gone, because the modern business is not that. Modern business, if you want to grow in modern business, is all about value creation. That what kind of value you can create. You can have a lot of supermarkets. Supermarkets are always there. What new thing you can bring in those supermarkets? Can you bring your automatic checkout, self-checkout, or what kind of facility you can provide? You can take any example. So right now, the way the successful business are, they try to find a pain point and they try to resolve it in a modern way of doing things. 2030 is all about that we need to create a value. We need to bring the technology and whatever happening in the world into this country and how we can be ahead of the game. Business need to move. We say that from a cost-centric point of view to value creation. The more value you create, the more revenue will generate and your bottom line will move automatically.
Are you actually seeing these changes?
It is. It's happening. Now, if you see that there are a lot of new projects which government are launching, especially PIF. You see recently, for last year, they launched Alat. Alat is one of the largest, the way they are, this company will work, they work in the hardware. They're collaborating with IBMs and some big names in the world. They launched this recently, an AI company. They call it Humanic or something like that. The company is focused on AI only. They want to be leader in the AI, in everything possible. So they are doing it. They are really doing that and they're investing heavily on these things. So that is a future. They cannot, if you want to achieve the Vision 2030 and you try, if you're not in the modern technology, you will never achieve that. They will never ever achieve that. And coming back to the finance leaders, how the finance team or finance department or finance leader, how they can help or they can be part of that is the cross-functional collaboration. Those days are gone. Like I've been through that also. Like if you ask me 10 years ago, how I was dealing with my other departments, every year when the budget time comes, I send them the Excel file that please fill your budget and what is your expense, what is your revenue, let me know. And then it comes to me in the finance department. We then combine it all together and present the budget to the board when the budget is approved. And then from that day onward, from 1st January, every month, I'm hunting those department people. Where is the revenue which you promised? Why your cost is higher? And I will just keep on fighting with them. Now, those days are gone now. Now you have to collaborate with them. You have to actually help them that how you will achieve this budget. With the data, you have it because finance has all the data of the company. Every data directly or indirectly will flow to finance. So I can use those data and guide them that what kind of trends are available, what kind of products, what kind of market, what kind of customer you can approach with the help of that data. So I should be helping and collaborating with these departments to achieve their targets because when they will achieve the target, the company will achieve the target.
Yeah, definitely.
So we have to stop doing the policing part and try to be a collaborator with them. And at the end, on the top, which is the CFO, the role of CFO to do the financial reporting is gone now. There are teams available who should be doing it. CFO should not be wasting their time in the financial reporting. Yes, that is one of the role is there, but not the heavy role is there. They need to work with the CEO and all the department head to influence the strategy, to work with them, to guide the company and how to achieve our goals, our long-term objectives. So that is now the new game of the CFOs and the finance function.
It's the majority of the CFOs that I speak to now where the mindset is shifting from finance being a bottleneck to finance now being a collaborator. And you said it very rightly. So it's very important. Otherwise, everyone's just going to assume that finance is the villain, how they've always been, because they're not coming together as partners, but this shift is very important. So thank you for being one of the leaders who are leading this change. Coming to the next question, you talked about how the port development company that you joined, there was nothing there and you built everything from scratch. So you have led multiple ERP and IFRS transitions, but transformation is never about systems, right? So what's something you've learned the hard way when it comes to getting people to buying into that change, getting them to agree to work on these different projects that the upper management comes up with?
Very important question for nowadays because transformation is a talk of the town and everybody is looking into that. There was a study was conducted some time ago, I think somewhere in Europe and US, and that study shows 80 or 90% of transformation fail not because of system or you appoint a wrong partner or you select a wrong software. They fail because of the people. Reason being is that we try to, the AI is there, let me automate everything. The first thing that the fear comes is the team who's working with me that the moment he will automate, for example, if you automate your bank reconciliation, if you automate the posting, maybe you bring some AIs, machine learning softwares, or even the invoice processing softwares. If you try to bring them, everything get automated, then this means they will fire me. So they try to people try to avoid these kind of things. The first and most important thing is to sell that why the company want this software and what is the benefit to you as an employee. You'll be out of your regular accountant kind of job and try to be part of better decision making. I know that we have seen a lot of news are coming, like big companies, Google, Apple, Facebook, they're firing this much of thousands of people because AI is taking over. Yes, those things are not deniable. These things are there. Somebody is saying that you will not lose the job here. The jobs are getting lost. But there is another study is also there from the World Bank or World Economic. They says that whenever these kind of major change comes in, then the job ratio of addition and reduction, there's always a net increase in the job. They used to say that the AI is an Excel movement. When Excel came, I think 40 years ago, 50 years ago, there were people sitting with the register. Why I use the Excel? Because then I will lose my job. What happened? You've seen that how Excel has evolved and how many number of jobs are increasing and still they're increasing. Human will be repurposed somehow. Yes, maybe within the entity possible, you might lose the job. There is a possibility and it happens. There's a net increase in the market. So that will never disappear. So this transformation, if you get disengaged with the people, if they don't know the why, then the entire thing will fail. So it's very important that you involve team at the very early stage and try to celebrate every small win just to build the momentum. That, okay, I see, oh, we did that. Oh, great, good job. And have a clap, have some small party, no problem. And try to give them the ownership that, see, the more you will try to bring automation or use the technology, it will make your life easier and you can do something better. Again, I'm not saying that you automate everything. For example, if one of my friend is automate, like out of the 10 processes, he did 8. I do the same. Every company has to see their own requirements, their own system, their own processes. Yeah. You should not be following that, okay, if my friend did it, I also did that. Like in my case, like I have examples that there are things I don't automate. So I don't see the value of making it automated. It's still better to be the way they are right now. So we keep on looking at it slow by slow. And the last thing is, if you bring any transformation, everything should be integrated. Everything, all the systems should talk to each other. It should not be working in the silos. That is, the integrations are really key. And I've seen companies who have bring all the technology in the world, but they're not integrated. And now they're suffering big time by investing millions and billions on that.
No, very true. I think it is very important that your softwares talk to each other at the end of the day. Otherwise, you're going to be spending much more money just trying to make that happen. I was, again, like going through your LinkedIn and I realized that you've invested in leadership development more than most people. Stanford, Harvard, London Business School. What's one lesson from all that learning that you find yourself applying the most often today?
Okay, now this... what really happened, you know, the way the shift are coming in the technology. I studied my ACCA like when 20 years ago now. 2003 I got qualified. A lot of things has changed. So if I don't learn and the way technology is coming into this world and the way the things are changing now, sometimes like you read something and maybe after 1 month it become obsolete. So it is very important that I keep on learning. If I don't learn, I will not grow. It is very clear. Now I know that like maybe I did multiple courses for one reason or another. I'm not applying each and everything in this company. I know that very well. I'm not applying each and everything, but at least I know these kind of things exist in this world. So whenever, for example, in future, in my company or maybe in some other company, if I go, at least I know this technology or this thing is there or this is the software or technology that can help me resolve the problem for me. So learning is very important. There is no doubt that because the way things are moving every week, every month, something new is coming in AI. The AI is still growing and it's in the very early stage of AI. It's not even mature enough. And then we can see what the changes are. Just imagine when AI get mature, what it can do. Definitely, as we discussed before also, being a CFO, my technical skills nobody will doubt me on that. The thing is how to manage your team, how to be a leader instead of a manager. So that soft skill is extremely critical. And it's not that if I did one course and I'm master of that, you have to keep on practicing. And then maybe you achieve to some level of mastery, but which is not very easy to achieve. It's a long-term
investment.
Investment and learning is there for that.
Definitely agree on that. Okay. Next question. You've worked across organizations with very different speeds and cultures. When you walk into a new company, how do you assess what kind of finance team this company really needs?
Okay. I was fortunate enough that EY was definitely a different story completely because that is one of the largest and in the Middle East. So my existing company as well as the King Abdullah Port, the previous company, it was a startup completely. And I had to build the entire team. That entire team I have to build. So I need to hire up a right people who can understand the vision of the company and where we are going for that. I think the most important thing, and if I learned from one of my boss, also one of my CEOs, is that the person should have a right attitude to the work. Yes, definitely. Like if I'm hiring a finance person with a finance background, that is definitely important. It's not that I bring an engineer for that. No, I need to have a finance person with a finance background with a decent qualification or degree, whatever it is. But he used to say that the person should have a right attitude. If he has a right attitude, then we can make him work for anything we want. That I learned from my CEO from my CEO 6-7 years ago. Trust me, he was hiring people based on that only. Never try to verify that this is the job profile is or description is really matching or not. See, I just want to see a right attitude with the experience and the right attitude is there. I will make him work. And he was doing that, and he was very successful. Like he was those kind of CEO was a people person kind of thing. Everybody likes him. I can't remember anybody says anything negative against him ever, never ever. So it was his strength. Now other people look as differently that I need to have a right. I'm looking for a QA QC manager. Then he should have those experience of 6-7 years. So everybody has their own way of looking at it. But if the person is a good human, I think that is the most important thing to build a strong team, which can work with anyone and in any condition.
Yeah. Because I think skills can be learned on the job, but what you said, right, the attitude, you can't teach that to someone. It comes from within.
Yes.
Totally agree with that. So when you're hiring someone, what's one trait that instantly tells you someone's ready for a finance role in a fast or like changing business?
If you ask me, the one thing is I think that what I will do is that like whatever position I'm hiring you, you should always be ready to roll off your sleeve and do whatever need to be done.
Yeah.
If I'm hiring a manager and I will sit as a manager and there's a people who work for me, I will think twice hiring that kind of person. Yes, definitely. I'm not expecting that he is a manager and then he start working where the team is available. But that attitude should be available. As I said, like when I joined King Abdullah Port, I was a senior manager audit in a big four, EY, the largest in the world. I have a team of 10 people who work everything for me. I just do my clients meeting. I do my sales. And then I got a audit file, which I review. I don't do anything. When I reached to King Abdullah Port, in the interview itself, that he told me, the CFO was very clear with me that this is a new startup company. My accounting is horrible right now. I am hiring a person who have a big four background so he can clear my audit because I have to clear this 2003 audit. And it's all mess. Can you do it or not? And I said, I was there. I went there for almost a month. I was passing entries only. Yeah. Just to fix the system. I'm not blame anybody there because there was nobody was there.
Yeah.
Similarly, same when I came here, this port development company, PDC, Al Fatli Housing, I'm here right now. It's a startup company. CEO was the first employee. I was second employee. I built everything almost for 6 months. I was working alone. My accounts was in Excel. I was keeping everything in Excel. And every month I was closing my books to report to the board that what the status are. I did it manually 6 to 8 months. Then somebody joined me the company and then we went to the ERP and then implement the ERP. So that is very clear that you'll always be ready to do whatever need to be done.
AI is the talk of the town. It's creeping into everything now from reporting to reconciliation. But what parts of finance do you think are really ready for automation and which ones still need that human touch?
Good. No, definitely AI is very, very important nowadays and I think is scaling everyone. I think, see, you can automate the things which are like rule-based tasks, like you define the rules, you do this, you match that, you match the reconciliation. That is very much possible. Reporting, if you map the entire chart of account with the relevant reporting groups, that is possible. There are good systems where you can do budgeting and forecasting also. That can be done if you define all these things. You can automate that very easily.
Yeah.
But where this will come to a judgment or ethics, in those things, definitely you need a human input. That is always required. System cannot do that because your system just know that this is the input and this is the history in the past, rule based on. You cannot think beyond the way human think. So end of the day, AI is all about a co-pilot. It cannot be a pilot. It will be a co-pilot where human and machine will collaborate with each other for the best outcome possible.
Yeah.
This is how the way I see that the AI will be with us in the future also.
Yeah, definitely, as a support function. This brings me to the last question. You've built a very multi-dimensional and deep career. We've talked about finance, governance, information, but if someone had only 5 minutes with you, what's one piece of advice you'd want them to walk away with?
Okay. Now you said 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, I can give you more advices. One will not be enough. Okay. If you give me 5 minutes, then I can give you 3 advices then. Free.
Okay,
like
let's
buy
go.
one and get 2 free kind of thing. See, this is what I believe in. 3 things I will go for. And I learned it over time. First thing, gratitude. If, for example, if you're Muslim, your duties are very important. You should take care of that. There's no doubt about it. And your parents. I have seen wonders in my life, but just by taking care of my parents. Whatever I am today right now is all because of that. Otherwise, no way I am of that capable to do these kind of things. It's impossible. No way.
Yeah.
This is one thing. This is from religious and your culture and your own point of view. Second thing, from the business, from the career point of view, you should identify what is your niche is. What are you good at? You cannot be good at FP&A. You cannot be a good finance business partner. You cannot be an AI together. Then you are a Power BI expert. You are a this expert or that. This is not possible. Humanly, that is not possible. You need to find your proper niche where you are good at and then build up on that. I know people, they just, for example, I know one person, he loved this FP&A and he built his entire career on FP&A. You open your LinkedIn, the only thing you find is FP&A and he's building his career based on that. I know another person, business partner. He's in love that of finance business partner. At LinkedIn, you find it's a finance business partner. Another person I saw, Power BI. Everything is on Power BI only. This is, you need to find out that. You cannot be master of everything. That is impossible to do. Yeah. And the last thing, people, and I learned in a hard way, extremely hard way, and I never realized that. Never, ever rely on your paycheck. Always build your side hustles because job will go anytime, but your skills, your side hustles will grow or it will with you the way you are. That is very important to do.
Yeah. I think that was like 3 very good pieces of advice and that was not 5 minutes. And honestly speaking, like what you said, the last point that you said, like I think the second one does not apply that much. I'm in marketing, so it does not apply that much for me. But I think the last one applies to everyone, whether they're in finance or not. Life is very uncertain. You never know what you might lose. And it's a job at the end of the day. We're all very indispensable and replaceable. Knowing our skill set and starting something on the side just to like support that idea, I think that's very good piece of advice. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so I've asked all my questions, but just to keep this interview fun and lighthearted, I want to ask you 5 rapid fire questions. So just one word answer or one sentence answers. Are you ready to do that?
Let's try. Hopefully I will be able to answer something good.
Okay, let's do it. If you have to automate one finance task forever, which one are you picking?
Reconciliation. Very easy.
Yeah, I think that's across the board. Everyone hates reconciliation.
Exactly.
Okay, what is the weirdest thing you've had to approve an expense for?
Yeah, that was recently happened. Like, I don't know, like, it's weird or not, but I approve a very fancy coffee machine for a team of 3 people sitting in my office because they love coffee.
I think coffee is a thing in Saudi. Like people love coffee over there. So I think we'll not call it weird. But I get it. It's 3 people team and a coffee machine.
No, for me is also because the more is on top of that, I don't drink tea, coffee, no caffeine. I'm a water guy.
Not at all?
Not at all.
You come from Pakistan. How do you not drink chai?
I'm from Pakistan. I'm a Mehman also. I told you that before. But no, alhamdulillah. My parents never gave us that habit. So I'm very happy.
Here I am with my cup of chai.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. What's more painful, budget season or audit season?
Budget.
Okay.
Yeah. Audit is a piece of cake for me.
Yeah, for you it's
I'm
easy.
Master. I don't get involved in audit anymore now, because this what over time you have to change your thing. So now my audit is managed with my team. Unless something very crucial, I will only get involved. Their KPI is to manage the audit without me.
Maybe if I ask them, they're gonna tell me that audit season is more painful for them.
For them, maybe. For me, is budget.
Okay. What's one tool apart from Excel that your finance team actually uses?
Power BI.
Okay, that's a common one that I've heard across. Okay, final question. If your team made a meme about you, what would it say?
What they will.
Maybe I should ask your team about this.
Maybe, I don't know. I never asked them that, where they look at.
Okay, it's fine.
No, difficult. I don't know.
Okay, it's fine. Okay, thank you so much, Anis. It was great talking to you. I definitely learned a lot, and I'm sure our community will also definitely benefit from this particular session.
No, thank you very much, Habiba, for inviting me, and thanks to Alan team for having me. Hopefully, I was helpful, and hopefully that I will add some value.
Definitely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Same here. Bye-bye.